Hey, what's up, Visionaries? Welcome back to the Archvision Fan Jam. My name's Anton. Hopefully all of you guys are having a fantastic day, because today's request comes, of course, from Matt Baywood, my good friend, and who's actually been on the podcast before. He's actually a Twitch affiliate streamer, so definitely check out his Twitch channel. I don't know anything about Twitch. So I don't know the terminology and the lingo. But anyway, this is Incubus Dig, and I looked up the lyrics, and Matt, you clearly know me, man. This is like a deep, emotional, psychological, great lyrics. Like I looked them up. I was like, yo, I could tear this apart in a good way. I can break it down. I think that's better than tear it apart. But you guys know what I mean. But anyway, before we get into this one, I do want to say you guys rock. Thank you for all the love. Also, if you guys want to support the channel and choose every single song we have on the channel, and choose every album review reaction that we do on the channel, and get exclusive access to those full album reactions uncut, and get a whole bunch of other cool stuff like exclusive question and answer live streams and stuff. Definitely join everyone in the supporter squad on Patreon. And of course, shout out to all of my supporter squad. You guys are the very best. I love you, and I know you love me too, so as always. And it is the price of a large pizza for all of that fun stuff. So if you're interested, for the price of a pizza, do that. But anyway, also, lastly, if you guys want to get a hold of myself and hang out with me and everybody in the Archvision community, I make that sound like it's a legion of people, but it's a fair amount of people. Definitely join everyone in the Discord. That's where we're hanging out, and it is free to anyone who doesn't know. So it's totally free, and that's it. So let's get an Incubus Dig. He has an amazing voice.
And ask for forgiveness, or make a pact to never speak that word again. Yes, you are my friend. We all have something that digs at us, at least
so many layers.
Each other.
Favorite kind of vocalist right there, man. What is his name? I think his name is Brandon Boyd. I looked it up before. But man, he has, oh dude, it's beyond the voice. He just seems like a beautiful human being, like heart and soul. Like, you know, it's just, that's it. I get such a sensitivity from his voice. Just this beauty, this soft soul, man. He comes across like a very, very soft soul. Someone who wants the world to be a better place than it is, and knows we can get there, but likely has a hard time surviving in the meantime. You know what I mean? I think a lot of us sensitive softies are like that. You know what I mean? We're optimists. Some of us. I'm an optimist. And yeah, like I have a vision in my mind of like just a better world. You know, a world where, it's so cliche, but just, you know, a world where we just fundamentally just let each other be, and love who we love, and let go who we let go. You know what I mean? And just, I'll break down the lyrics of this later, but just the whole song is just like, this is like a 2000s rock smash hit. Like, just the vibe, the ambience, the groove, the vocal styles, the mellow, the power, the sensitivity, everything. Just the soul in his voice is just like, Yeah, man, this is a hit. It was just an incredible song. It makes me emotional for a time I didn't exist in. Because I never heard this song before. Like, this literally was because I'm a 95 kid, right? So, like, I'm guessing this is the mid-2000s. This is my time. This is when I was in elementary school, kind of formulating my identity, my musical identity. So, love it. But let's get back into it. This right there, the soul, ad-libs, drumming there too.
We all have a sickness, cleverly attaches and multiplies. No matter how we try, we all have someone that digs at us. At least we dig each other.
Steelers fan.
So when sickness turns my ego up, I know your life has a clever medicine. If I turn into another, dig me out from under what is covering the better part of me. Sing this song. Remind me that we'll always have each other when everything else is gone. Oh, each other when everything else is gone.
Interesting, very dreamy. Love the video too.
Take me out from under what is covering the better part of me. Sing this song. Remind me that we'll always have each other when everything else is gone. Oh, each other when everything else is gone. Oh, each other when everything else is gone.
Wow. Wow, I love that imagery at the end too, that she's, yeah, literally uncovering the deeper part of him. And you can even see with the big head, the big ego, like he made that comment, when my ego gets inflated or something, find the real me, like beneath it all. And I love that outlook. Again, I just want to say, man, I love the vocalist. Just his whole vibe, aura, fucking whatever you want to call it, man. He just seems like a phenomenal dude. And again, the way he chooses to articulate his lyrics, I feel like him and I would hit it off. I think we could become besties. I love people like this. I just love sensitive souls, man. That's who I gravitate towards in life. All my friends are really sensitive, like, because I'm really sensitive. You know what I mean? I feel things really deeply. Especially when I was younger, man. It's the reason why I have like PTSD from high school. Like, I was bullied a lot. Because, yeah, like, you know, those kind of sensitive people, you know. Because I think they learn confidence at a later age. Like, I was supremely unconfident in high school, you know what I mean? And, you know, high school is a place of wolves, right? It's primal. Like, high school is primal. It's primitive. You know, you see these packs of people, you know, social cliques, right? And it's like, people don't treat you like a human being. They treat you as like, okay, if you're in the out crowd, you're the out crowd. If you're in the in crowd, you're the in crowd. You are only as good as your status in this area. And I was an outcast. So I was, you know, just harassed, bullied, all that kind of stuff. And I don't say that to garner pity or victimize myself, because it's just what it is, right? And also, I think the whole reason I'm who I am today is because of that. I'm very sensitive to people being hurt, people being bullied. And also even like my psychological background. You know, why did I learn so much about psychology? Because I was like fucked up. You know what I mean? I was angry, bitter, like, you know, I didn't know who I was, didn't know who I wanted to be, felt lost, alienated, suicidal at one point. And so it was like, drew me to like, who am I? Right? Psychology. How do I think? Why do I have these thoughts? Why am I depressed? Why am I anxious? Why do I hate my family members? Why did they treat me this way? Why was I abused? You know, all that kind of stuff, right? And it's just like, I don't think I could be who I am today without those experiences. I look at life very holistically. I don't look at it like just black and white. Like, you know, you were abused. That's terrible. You like it's like, no, like anybody can grow. Pardon me. And anybody can like become, yeah, who they are. And I just, again, like, and this is why I brought this up. I love his perspective that even when my ego gets too big, even when I lose sight of myself, there's still a good part of me inside. And I think that's how I view all people. You know, I've lost my way. I can be sometimes prone to have a big ego. 100%. That's kind of definitely one of my archetypes. Is yeah, I've had a huge ego before. I'm very arrogant, covering up a lot of insecurity, because again, arrogance always covers up insecurity. When you actually look at confident people, they never feel like they're above you. That's how you know. Like, if someone's like, an arrogant person will make sure you know that you're not as good as them, and they'll tell you about all their achievements and how you're not like them. An arrogant person is always separating themselves from everybody else. A confident person is confident. They'll say, you know, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm bad at. And they'll also be like, and you can, like, you know, they'll bring you in. They'll pull you forward of who you can be, right? That's what a confident person does, right? They're not trying to, like, again, like arrogance, like that's the problem with arrogance, is that you end up being very lonely. Because when you're separating yourself from everybody, trying to be something, it's like, that's a lonely existence, man. You got no friends. You know, you got no one to rely on. You got no one to... Because the fact is, man, we all break down. We all get to a point where we're like, you know, we're hurting. You know, we just want to cry. We just want to be held. Honestly, even as a guy, like, there's like, when I'm at my lowest, man, I just want, like, you know, a safe place. You know what I mean? To fall apart. You know what I mean? You know, like, I know I'll get through it, but sometimes, like we all got children inside of us. Like people are like, oh, you know, people talk about the inner child, right? I believe it's a real thing. You know, I can feel like, I don't know if it's like, Grant Morrison, he's a famous comic artist. I wrote Batman and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. Batman, Arkham Asylum, Invisibles, which is the basis for the Matrix movies. But he has this idea, like, he views human beings as like a centipede. And he's like it's just all these like yous going back, like, you know, how if you're 25 years old, you got like a million yous, because there's every second you're changing, you're evolving. So it's like the present you is at the front of the centipede human, and then it's like the you a second before, 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 all the way back to your genesis when you're a baby. So if you actually like look at the end of the centipede, it's like a baby crawling, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you get to where you are now, right? So it's like, to Grant Morrison, you're one thing, and then other people describe, you have the inner child, you have the teenager, then you have the present you, and then you're gonna, like, you know what I mean, you have these like different people kind of inside of your psyche. I don't really think it actually matters how you view it, because even if you believe you're one thing, like centipede, that like every prior you is part of every present you, it's the same thing, because you still have access to the inner child, who is in the middle of the centipede, not the beginning, not the end, but the middle. So you literally still have the memories and emotions in your physiology of all of the past yous, right? So it's like, the reason why I mention this is like, yeah, man, like when I'm breaking down or I'm having a hard time, man, I just want to break down. I just want to be held. Like, that inner child part of me just wants someone to love me unconditionally, not judge me, and not say like, oh, you know, pick yourself up. You know what I mean? That's like the toxic masculinity kind of thing. And I don't mean that in political. Oh, fuck, I hate politics, but I don't mean that in a political way. I literally just mean like there's toxic masculinity, there's toxic femininity, there's toxic anything. It's like the Buddhists would say, like the middle path is the right path. Never too much, never too little, right? Too much is toxic, too little is toxic, right? So it's like that toxic masculinity is like lacking in emotion, right? And then the toxic femininity is coddling. There's no independence. There's no fostering of independence. Like a good parent, good mother and a father will love you and hold you when you're falling apart and then inspire you to move on. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, I never really had like a father figure in my life. So for me, it's like, and then my mom was like, I've talked about this a lot. My mom's incredible. I love my mom. She's the best mom ever. But she wasn't really a nurturer. So I never really got a nurturing kind of energy because my mom's like really cerebral, really analytical. So she was always there for me, but in like a mental way. You know what I mean? She like I never just hugged my mom. You know what I mean? Some people you can just like hug them and fall apart and cry and you just feel so safe. Like I never had any kind of parent that was quite like that. And that kind of sounds bad like on my mom, but I don't expect my mom to be what she's not. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, my father needed to be more emotional because my mom is so cerebral. That's just what she's like, right? So I needed someone who just was so grounded in their body, in their emotions. I never really had that. It was always a thinking family. We would articulate our emotions rather than actually feel our emotions. And again, not bad or good, just what it was. You know, I think my mom needed a different kind of I needed a different kind of father, and my mom needed a different kind of partner, right? Obviously, they got divorced, so it never really worked. You know what I mean? They were like pretty much divorced for 12 years, but living in the same house just for the kids. But yeah, that's what I'll say about that. I like his perspective that we all have good inside of us, and that if you dig deep enough, you'll find the good part of you that is being covered up by all of these shoulds and societal pressures and insecurities that create facades, right? Because facades are all born out of insecurity. Like if you want to know what you're insecure about, what is your facade portraying? If you have a very confident facade, you don't think you're confident, right? If you have a very loving facade, you don't feel loving enough. Right? It's like whatever you feel you have a deficit in, you overcompensate in your facade to kind of level that out, right? So, for example, my facade is cool, calm, collected, and intellectual because I was the stupid one in the family, believe it or not. My brother was gifted. My sister was a straight A student. I got C's and B's kind of stuff, right? So I always thought I was dumb. My dad told me I was pretty much dumb all the time. But so it's like for me, like my facade is very articulate, very intellectual, because I never felt like I had any ground in intelligence. I never felt like I could win any debate. I never felt like I was intelligent. Never felt like I had anything worth saying. And then here I am, this guy who always has things worth saying, right? Not saying they're worth saying, but my speech comes across like that is the case because I worked at that for years, man. I used to stutter. I used to literally blank in the middle of conversations. I had so much social anxiety, right? So it's just funny. It's just funny what your facade becomes because it becomes just a mere reflection of everything you're most insecure about. So anyway, this was a masterpiece. This was a fantastic song on a musical level, on a lyrical level, inspirational, uplifting, but also doesn't divorce itself from the realities and the pain of life. And that's my favorite. I love it when it's real, it's honest, it's authentic, but it has a light at the end of the tunnel. In life, that's just my favorite kind of stuff. I'm watching Angel right now. Everybody on the channel knows I'm watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. And I actually like Angel more right now because I find it a bit more grounded. And the redemption storyline resonates a lot with me because I fucked up a lot in my life. And I've been like, I told you guys before, I've been like I wasn't there for my brother. I just, I was too busy going through my own abuse that I could just never really be a solid rock for my brother. And which is why I do so much mentorship and I look out for the world now on my YouTube channel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my favorite job ever was being a camp counselor. And I wanted to be a counselor, I wanted to be a therapist, so it's just funny. Again, facades or even life paths. Usually your life path follows your biggest wound in life. So again, you can't divorce yourself from your wounds because your wounds decide your life path, right? Why do you think all psychologists are so psychological? Because they're the most effed up. You know what I mean? You like, believe me, those if you're talking to a therapist, you're like, oh man, this therapist is so smart, they're so rational, and it's like, yeah, probably because they're severely messed up. They're probably better now, but they came from a really broken place. That's why you want to be a psychologist. That's why you're curious about the mind, because your own mind is so broken. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give the video a like. That'd be really helpful to the YouTube algorithm. And that's about it. So what are your favorite Incubus songs? Let me know down below. And that's about it. So I'll see all of you guys again tomorrow. Thank you very much, Matt Baywood, for this reaction request. What are we listening to next? You tell me, okay, buddy? All right, love you guys. Take care. Peace.